end of these two wars affords us an opportunity that allows us to refocus our intelligence and military assets and resources to other parts of the world where they are needed, where we face new challenges. This is the world you are graduating into. This is what I want to talk about today with you for a few minutes. I believe we, and particularly you, your class, has an incredible window of opportunity to lead in shaping a new world order for the 21st century in a way consistent with American interest and the common interest.
But ask yourself, what if the world doesn't want that? What are you going to do then? Well, I guess we'll just bomb them into submission and force them to accept our New World Order ideology, I guess. And we'll use those men and women behind you to do that and risk their lives and risk having more heartbreak in families and lost souls, all for these people who are the slaves of architects of a new world order so that they can fulfill that goal for their masters. That's what we'll do.
The possibilities.
Oh yeah, think of the possibilities. Think of the thousands of more American lives lost. That the possibilities. Yeah. Think of the how much richer all the Saudi oil people and the Zionistic banksters and central banksters. Think how much richer they'll be. Yeah. Think of how much more land Israel will get. Think of how more unstable the world will be. Yeah, think of the possibilities. You go, Joe Biden.
Time in history, the Western Hemisphere is in a position where it has the possibility of being middle class, democratic, and secure from Canada to Chile.
Oh, let's even involve Canada in this, and of course we Canadians, our fool selves, will accept it. You guys, Joe Biden is the front runner to be the Democratic nominee for president of the United States in 2020. He might actually get it. Yeah, the Democrats like to talk about how they're the resistance and how they're change and this and that. They're not change. If they're going to elect someone like Joe Biden, it's far from change. Um, Here's the thing, guys. Joe Biden is not, and I'm not speaking as somebody who is a conservative, because there are many conservatives who are not perfect either. In fact, I would say stay away from a lot of conservatives, neocons. But I'm an independent, first of all, but I'm also speaking as somebody who is desperate for world peace, world independence of nations, cooperation of nations, and ending, the American imperialistic domination of the world, which just does nothing but hurt America in the long run. Joe Biden is dangerous. Joe Biden is dangerous for the left and the right, and he's dangerous for the world. Electing Joe Biden would almost be like electing just another neocon or new Democrat like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Joe Biden is no different from the lot of them. I think that for the most part, at least domestically, Donald Trump has been the most change-driven president. Domestically, not so much foreign policy. He's still kind of towing the neocon line when it comes to foreign issues, for the most part. We'll give him credit that he didn't bomb Iran and start a war, so far at least. But Joe Biden would most certainly want nothing more than to do the same thing that the rest of these American imperialistic presidents, from Lyndon Baines Johnson all the way down to Obama, have done, which is go into other people's business, start more wars, create more instability and chaos. And it is all to create, in Joe Biden's own words, a new world order. The globalists' main objective. And globalists come in many different forms. You know, many globalists have different interests. The Saudi oil people, you know, they have their interests. The Zionists have their interests. The neocons have their interests. But the thing about it is that really it all comes back to money and control. And Joe Biden, if he were to be elected, would just be another part of that. Now we've talked about all the other Democrats and how crazy they are, and you know Bernie Sanders and all them people like that. They're just there's something wrong with them. But Joe Biden is, if he were to be president, we would be back to square one. We would be back to square one. I mean, look at what the Obama administration did in Libya. Look at Libya now. You got rid of Gaddafi, which, okay, think what you want about him. Yeah, okay, he bombed up planes over Lockerbie and blew up Berlin nightclub. I mean, partly because, you know, Americans were trying to interfere in his business. Okay, so yeah, as a normal country, they retaliate. But you get rid of Gaddafi, and look at Libya now. Libya literally has slavery and it's completely lawless. It's just pretty much run by terroristic individuals, and that's all Obama administration. And John Bolton says there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong happened in Libya. Libya is better off with Gaddafi. Iraq is better off without Saddam. All this stuff. I mean, Obama came in, and I was weary about him from the start, but I thought he wouldn't be one of those type of, but he ended up being just as bad, if not maybe even worse. Look at Libya. And Biden coming from his own mouth, you know, let's do this. Let's stretch the American militaristic empire even further. Let's create a new world order. When you guys hear that word come from a politician, you guys need to run. You need to run quicker than a black mamba snake. You need to run because that means they're a part of the cabal. Not to mention, Joe Biden is one of those old Democrats who really, his past, just like Hillary Clinton's past, is one that I think even Democrats should find suspect. In fact, a Democrat should find suspect. I mean, we've talked about the crime bill. And Biden still defends the crime bill, which was created by Bill. Well, he wrote it, first of all. And the Democrats put it into law, and Bill Clinton signed it into law. And the crime bill is one of the biggest reasons why we're seeing so much mass arrests, incarcerations in America. They don't care about preventing crime in the first place, preventing it so it doesn't happen again. It's just lock up, lock up, lock up, lock up. You know, I've always said drugs, people who are addicted to drugs are not going to get better when you lock them up. They're actually going to get worse. They're going to get worse. 100%. That's why America has one of the worst drug problems out there. But Joe Biden defends it. Defends the crime bill 100%. Oh, yeah, there were some things that were bad in it, blah, 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 blah. But overall, it was a great thing that I wrote up. Great thing. I mean, Democrats, if you think that you guys are the resistance party, you claim that Trump is so-called racist and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm the resistance. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that orange monster. I'm going to get him. You going to get him with Joe Biden? Oh, please. Oh, please. That's like saying I'm going to get Hitler with Mussolini. I'm going to get him. Let's get Donald Trump with Joe Biden. The guy who's responsible for creating one of the biggest drug problems America's ever seen with his mass incarcerations, destroying American families. I don't think there's a black family in America that doesn't have a family member in jail. And same with, I mean, poor white folk as well. White folk as well, in country places, West Virginia, all those kind of places. It's the same thing. This was one of the worst bills ever. And he wrote it. He wrote it. And not only that, but even with busing. And I'm not a big fan of Camilla or Kentucky or whatever her name is. Not a fan of her. Really, I'm not. She's very. I can't. I don't like her voice. First of all, can't stand her. But she was right to go against Biden on this one. He says, no, I wasn't against busing. I was against federal government forcing it. Well, that means you're against busing, okay? In one of the most explosive moments of night two of the first Democrat presidential debate, Senator Kamala Harris blasted former Vice President Joe Biden over his record on race, saying that she was one of the black children bused to a better school when he opposed busing minority students to better school districts. As the only African American on the stage, I would like to speak, Harris said. I do not believe you are racist. I believe he's a racist. I believe all white Democrats, especially from the older generation, they're racist. They are condescending. They don't think black people can do anything, so they give them all this sort of great society, this and that, and they're racist. But there was a little girl in California who was a part of the second class to integrate her public school, and she was bused every school day. And that little girl was me. And there she is right there. There was a little girl in California who was bused to school. That little girl was me. And first of all, when it comes to education, I'm all for. I don't know why we have to lock people up in certain districts. You stay in this district. I think you can go to any school you want. Go to any school you want. If you have to pay a little extra, pay extra school taxes, then do it. But I think people should go to any school they want to in America if they want to. If that means they have to pay the school taxes in that particular district, then so be it. But let them go. But the Democrats, a lot of them just didn't like that, partly because unions felt that schools would, school teachers, if the school wasn't good, they would lose their jobs because nobody would want to go to that school. No, what would happen, and this is why I actually believe that these school boards need to be liberated. Federal government has done a bad job. They need to be liberated so that because ultimately they know what's best. I mean, they don't want their school to fail. That was my Fox News app alert thing. I wish it would stop going off because they don't have any good breaking news to give me. It's just more rubbish they want to talk about. But yeah, that's why they did it. So Biden was against it. And he said, no, I wasn't against busing. I was against federal government enforcement of it. But you're for a lot of things for the federal government to do, but you're not for the federal government advocating busing? Oh, but you do support federal enforcement of Obamacare. So this is Biden's record. I mean, Democrats, you all say you want to be all this and resistance on Trump and this and that. Well, if you're so resistant to Trump, you can't go against him with Biden. Trump will whoop him all over the debate stage. I mean, give me a break. And if he doesn't, he's going to be. I'm actually. If I was a Democrat, I'd still be wary of Biden. He would just be another globalistic, old Hillary Clinton style uh, Democrat who would probably also be open borders as well. And I think that America's identity would be ruined under Joe Biden. So, what do you guys think? I think he's dangerous. This is the Arana Nation.